Wang Lin quickly realized that the cultivators of planet Suzaku respected him because Zhou Wutai had promoted his reputation after becoming the new Suzaku. Grateful that Wang Lin had given him the Suzaku position, Zhou Wutai never forgot the favor, since he had no opportunity to repay Wang Lin directly after Wang Lin left. He instead protected Wang Lin's descendants, his sect, and the country of Zhao. Using his authority, Zhou Wutai elevated the Wang family into royalty, allowing Zhao to gradually develop into a rank 5 cultivation country. He also spread the story of Wang Lin's deeds in the Suzaku tomb and encouraged all cultivators to regard Wang Lin as planet Suzaku's guardian and ancestor. At the same time, Zhou Wutai had another motive. He had only been at the soul transformation stage when he became Suzaku and lacked the strength to control everyone. So he relied on Wang Lin's prestige to stabilize his rule. Although Wang Lin could not guess every detail, he understood the overall situation and sighed, deciding that regardless of Zhou Wutai's motives, he owed him a favor. As Wang Lin continued flying with Ta Shan and the big-headed boy following behind, Ta Shan remained expressionless. The big-headed boy's emotions became even more complicated after witnessing Wang Lin's return. He saw that everyone sincerely respected Xu Mu from the bottom of their hearts. Although he knew his own family would also honor him because of his cultivation if he returned, he understood their respect would be false. Soon they arrived before a vast city resembling a coiled dragon. The black stone walls emitted spell fluctuations, and countless powerful restrictions protected the city, enough to threaten even ascendant cultivators if activated together. This was the Great Wang Dynasty, the only mortal imperial capital on planet Suzaku outside the Forsaken Immortal clan's territory. Founded 437 years earlier, it had become the greatest mortal power. The Wang imperial family had accumulated over 4 centuries of strength, commanding enormous armies, countless martial artists, and, most importantly, many cultivators supported by the Cloud Sky Sect, Zhou Wutai, and other sects, giving the Wang clan unmatched prestige. Following the call of his bloodline, Wang Lin arrived at the capital, where the concentration of Wang family descendants was greatest. He searched with his divine sense but did not find Wang Zhou. After sighing, he entered the imperial palace and immediately frowned. The capital was extravagantly luxurious, with roads paved entirely in precious blue and white stones. However, beyond the wealth, he noticed every tree wrapped in silk, revealing excessive corruption. With his current cultivation, Wang Lin could perceive invisible emotional auras such as sadness, anger, fear, and other negative emotions that affected the mind. Living in such an environment for long periods would distort one's personality, destabilize emotions, and even shorten one's lifespan. He recognized this as resentment. Having once gathered resentment himself on planet Qingling, he immediately noticed the monstrous resentment covering the capital. Expanding his divine sense, he found varying degrees of resentment throughout numerous cities, covering half of planet Suzaku. The resentment originated from mortal homes, gathering around populated areas without dispersing. The northwest region was the worst. Its soil was stained red with blood. Corpses covered the land, and overwhelming resentment spread from there. Compared to other cities, the capital's resentment was like a monstrous demonic flame reaching into the sky. Only someone with Wang Lin's cultivation could detect it through careful observation. Filled with anger, Wang Lin realized the prosperity of his descendants had been built upon this resentment. Such wealth had already deeply corrupted the Wang family, making it worthless in his eyes. As he walked through the streets, the sound of galloping horses approached. The pedestrians hurriedly retreated while Wang Lin stepped aside and watched. Several richly dressed young nobles rode through the street with many servants running behind them at astonishing speed. 2 foundation establishment cultivators flew above on swords, clearing the path. Leading the group was a handsome youth whose face was surrounded by dense black gas visible only to Wang Lin. Tied behind the youth's horse by a rope was a badly injured man being dragged across the street. His body was covered in wounds. His clothes were torn apart, and blood continuously stained the road, leaving a horrifying trail behind them. The group rode away laughing while the martial artists and cultivators ignored the victim. Afterward, soldiers immediately arrived to clean the blood from the street before following the procession to erase every trace. Once they had gone, the surrounding people resumed talking. They lamented the victim's bad luck for provoking the 16th prince, saying he would be dragged around the capital before being allowed to die. Others remarked that no one dared offend the Wong family because they ruled like heaven itself and even immortals served them. Someone mentioned that a few months earlier, the national teacher had observed an ominous sign in the northwest and, as a result, hundreds of thousands of people had been slaughtered there, leaving the region covered in corpses. Fearing punishment, they quickly changed the subject. Wang Lin's expression darkened further after confirming that the cruel young man possessed the Wong family bloodline. He quietly ordered Ta Shan to bring him over. Ta Shan instantly disappeared and soon returned carrying the richly dressed youth. Throwing him onto the ground before Wang Lin, the youth, terrified but arrogant, repeatedly cursed, demanding to know which sect dared capture him and boasting that he was a member of the Wong family. The nearby crowd was shocked and fled immediately in fear. The youth stood up with a ferocious expression and threatened Ta Shan, declaring that anyone who harmed a Wong family member would die regardless of their sect. Wang Lin coldly stared at him. He clearly saw dense black gas rising from the youth's head, forming the shape of a snake silently roaring at Ta Shan. Anyone below the second step could not perceive it and would only feel an eerie chill. At that moment, loud shouts echoed from the street as the prince's entourage returned. The two Foundation establishment cultivators led the charge with the servants, martial artists, and several other young nobles following behind. They shouted to capture the assassin and protect the prince. The two cultivators immediately attacked Ta Shan with their flying swords. They had only realized the prince had disappeared after turning around during the procession. Upon seeing Ta Shan throw the prince to the ground, they were horrified. As disciples of the Cloud Sky sect assigned to protect the princes, they knew they would face severe punishment if anything happened to him. So they immediately launched their attack against Ta Shan. Ta Shan coldly waved his hand, creating a powerful wind that scattered the sword energies and destroyed the two cultivators' flying swords. The immense force made them cough blood and sent them flying. The charging martial artists also slammed into an invisible barrier, coughed blood, and were forced back. No one was killed. Ta Shan merely injured them all. The youth was startled but became even more ferocious and shouted that he was a member of the Wong family and that Wang Lin's group would all die for hurting his men. Wang Lin calmly slapped him with only mortal strength, knowing any cultivation would shatter the youth's body. Even so, the slap sent the youth flying, swelling his face and knocking out all his teeth. The slap also struck the strange black snake attached to him. The black snake vanished for an instant before reforming and leaving the youth's body to devour Wang Lin. Only Ta Shan and the big-headed boy could see it. Everyone else merely felt a cold wind. Wang Lin angrily declared that he wanted to see who dared use the Wong clan to raise resentful spirits. He had already seen that the youth's soul had been completely devoured and replaced by the resentful spirit. As the snake charged, Wang Lin pointed a finger. Terrified, the snake tried to flee but exploded before it could escape. Wang Lin seized the remaining black mist and crushed it into a black rune. With the black snake destroyed, the youth trembled and coughed blood. His ferocious expression disappeared and was replaced by confusion. Since his soul had already been devoured, his eyes lost all vitality. The silent surroundings erupted into panic as everyone screamed and fled, leaving the area empty. Wang Lin carefully examined the situation. His divine sense initially found nothing unusual, but closer inspection revealed that someone was using Wong family members as vessels to nourish resentful spirits. He recognized the technique as one similar to refining a sword, using a living person as the spirit to absorb resentment until it became extremely powerful. Combined with the monstrous resentment covering the capital, Wang Lin concluded someone was deliberately controlling everything, strengthening the resentful spirits through accumulated resentment. Filled with anger, Wang Lin threw the black rune forward. It automatically flew toward its source, and Wang Lin followed behind it with Ta Shan and the big-headed boy. The death of a prince quickly alarmed the capital. Cultivators from various sects across planet Suzaku arrived on flying swords and attacked Wang Lin without asking questions. Wang Lin simply waved his sleeve, blowing away all their magical treasures and sending every cultivator 5,000 kilometers away. Horrified, they recognized that the mysterious man looked familiar and immediately fled back to their respective sects. Wang Lin continued toward the imperial palace. Countless soldiers charged at him, but unwilling to harm them, he merely waved his sleeve and sent them tens of thousands of kilometers away. Inside the imperial palace, a middle-aged emperor in dragon robes sat gloomily in the main hall. Beside him was a noble and beautiful woman wearing colorful robes. though traces of black fog lingered in her eyes along with hidden panic. Numerous Wong family members in luxurious clothing also stood inside with gloomy expressions. Outside, countless soldiers filled the square in preparation for battle. The emperor smashed an ink slab in anger and demanded to know who dared kill within the great Wong dynasty and from which sect the culprit came. After a long silence, a white-haired cultivator stepped forward and cautiously reported that the three intruders were likely senior cultivators with extremely high cultivation. But their sects remained unknown. The emperor sneered that the Wong family had been too quiet on planet Suzaku, allowing unknown people to challenge them, and demanded the national teacher appear. At that moment, laughter echoed through the palace as a voice declared that the Lord need not worry because his disciples would handle the matter. Black gas gathered above the square and condensed into three young figures, 2 men and 1 woman, whose bodies were hidden by black mist. Without even glancing toward the palace, they transformed back into black gas and rushed toward Wang Lin. Outside the palace gates, Wang Lin followed the increasingly dense black rune until he faced countless soldiers guarding the entrance. At that moment, the 3 black figures arrived. Before reaching him, overwhelming pressure and ghostly wails filled heaven and earth. Wang Lin immediately saw that the 3 cultivators possessed only soul transformation cultivation. Yet their attacks rivaled those of ascendant cultivators. More importantly, none of them possessed Wong family bloodlines. They were entirely refined resentful spirits. Killing intent filled Wang Lin's eyes. Taking one step, he instantly appeared before one resentful spirit, forming a sword with 2 fingers. He touched its shoulder, and early-stage Nirvana Scryer origin energy surged into its body. The spirit collapsed instantly. Although it tried to escape as black gas, Wang Lin completely destroyed both its body and root, causing it to explode and leaving only fading resentment. Everything happened in an instant. The remaining 2 spirits saw only Wang Lin take one step and raise his hand before their companion was annihilated. Filling them with fear, Wang Lin then struck the void with his left hand. A terrifying vibration formed into a storm that swept over another resentful spirit, crushing its body and killing it immediately. Turning around, Wang Lin looked at the final female spirit. Thunder erupted inside her body, causing her to explode as well. After destroying all 3 resentful spirits, Wang Lin's expression became even colder. He stepped into the air, entered the imperial palace, and arrived directly above the royal court. He saw the imperial soldiers in the square, the Wong family descendants inside the hall, and many cultivators standing nearby. Although the cultivators radiated killing intent, none dared attack because Wang Lin had effortlessly destroyed the national teacher's 3 disciples, making them fear his strength. Standing above the square, Wang Lin coldly declared, "Very good, you have done really well." He saw hundreds of Wong clan members. Though he knew they were not all present, almost every one of them had black gas between their eyebrows, indicating they had become vessels for resentful spirits. The only exception was the middle-aged emperor in dragon robes, who had no black gas. The woman beside him had also lost the black fog and showed no trace of cultivation. Appearing to be an ordinary mortal, Wang Lin's icy voice swept through the palace like a winter wind, shaking everyone's minds. When the emperor saw Wang Lin clearly, he was briefly stunned before murderous intent replaced his shock. He immediately shouted an order in the name of the Wong family to kill Wang Lin. As the man shouted, the ground beneath the square rumbled and cracked open. 8 ancient elders emerged and immediately attacked Wang Lin. Each of them had black gas between their eyebrows, though a golden light still protected their souls. Wang Lin pointed forward, sending 8 strands of black and white gas that destroyed the black gas controlling them. The elders regained consciousness, recognized Wang Lin, and excitedly called him Ancestor Wang Lin, causing everyone below to erupt in shock. Most Wong family members looked conflicted, while only a few showed excitement. The black mist released by the old man merged into a giant python that charged at Wang Lin. Ta Shan stepped forward, destroyed the python with a single punch, and calmly returned behind Wang Lin. Wang Lin then pressed his hand downward, forcing a hidden, half-naked cultivator out from underground, declaring that the man had dared to raise resentful spirits within Wong family descendants. Wang Lin attacked him with thunder. Although the man possessed illusory yin cultivation and retreated in panic, he looked toward a woman in colorful robes inside the hall. The woman, one of the 7 phoenixes of planet Feng Luan, prepared to cast a spell, but Wang Lin suddenly disappeared. The fleeing man escaped while the big-headed boy chased after him before Ta Shan could act. Wang Lin instead reappeared beside the woman and struck her back with a finger containing heavenly thunder. She coughed blood as the giant python above her collapsed. But a 5-colored phoenix spirit appeared and blocked the fatal blow. Wang Lin relentlessly pursued her, repeatedly appearing beside her faster than she could retreat and striking her with thunder several more times. The continuous attacks severely injured her, destroyed the phoenix spirit, and left her unable to resist. When the woman revealed her identity as one of planet Feng Luan's 7 phoenixes and demanded to know whether Wang Lin dared kill her, he ignored the threat. Black and white gas gathered around his fingers as he struck her shoulder. The gas entered her body, causing it to collapse. Her origin soul attempted to escape but was sealed and dragged before Wang Lin. He immediately performed a soul search, forcefully examining all her memories despite her screams, then crushed her origin soul and absorbed its origin energy. Through the soul search, Wang Lin confirmed that the woman had concealed her corporeal yang cultivation and that only the phoenix spirit had allowed her to survive his thunder attacks. He also discovered that the black gas affecting many Wang family members was connected to her, proving that she controlled their lives. This was why he had first forced the hidden cultivator to reveal himself before attacking her. After her death, some Wang family members coughed blood, their eyes dimmed, and they died because they had been too deeply controlled. The remaining family members were freed as the black mist disappeared. They immediately recognized Wang Lin from the ancestral portraits they had worshipped since childhood, knelt before him in shame, and admitted their mistakes. The 8 elders also knelt and apologized. Wang Lin looked at the middle-aged leader in the hall and coldly declared that the Wang family had failed because they could not even distinguish true members of their own family. His cold snort struck the man like thunder, knocking him unconscious. The other Wang family members looked at the fallen man with dark expressions. Wang Lin then thanked the surrounding cultivators for taking care of the Wang family over the years, and they respectfully accepted his gratitude. After using his divine sense to confirm that no other planet Feng Luan cultivators remained, he instructed one of the kneeling elders to handle the family's affairs while he would return in several days. Filled with killing intent, Wang Lin declared that planet Feng Luan and the corpse sect had dared target his descendants and would not escape punishment. From the woman's memories, he learned that although she was one of planet Feng Luan's 7 phoenixes, she was also a corpse sect elder with the same status as Sun Tai but far stronger. Wang Lin recalled that Sun Tai had once revealed some of the corpse sect's secrets, including their practice of gathering resentment to nurture resentful spirits. The memories also revealed that corpse sect members were hidden throughout nearly every city of the Great Wang dynasty, forming a vast network that constantly created and collected resentment to cultivate resentful spirits. Wang Lin decided not only to eliminate every corpse sect member within the Great Wang dynasty but also to eradicate the entire corpse sect from planet Suzaku, because they had harmed his descendants. He also intended to personally visit the corpse sect, investigate the giant corpse and the weak divine sense connected to it, and determine whether the giant demon clan corpse still remained after hundreds of years. At that moment, the big-headed boy returned carrying the fleeing cultivator with a foolish smile. Wang Lin coldly ordered him to kill the man and keep the origin soul. The big-headed boy crushed the man's head, seized the origin soul, and followed Wang Lin and Ta Shan as they departed. Wang Lin's return marked the beginning of a tremendous upheaval across planet Suzaku. The metal, wood, water, fire, and earth major cities surrounded the Great Wang dynasty's capital within 50,000 kilometers and each housed large numbers of soldiers. Wang Lin reached Metal City in a single step. Although it was slightly smaller than the capital, its luxury only intensified the resentment filling the city. The resentment gathered above it like a demonic flame, rising chaotically, as Wang Lin's divine sense swept through every inch of the city. He let out a cold snort. Explosions immediately erupted in 3 locations. Advisor Sun inside the city lord's mansion exploded into a pile of flesh. And the same fate befell 2 other corpse sect members hidden elsewhere in the city. Without stopping, Wang Lin instantly moved through the remaining 4 major cities. Wherever his divine sense reached, hidden corpse sect members exploded and died before they had any chance to react. Afterward, his divine sense spread across every city of the Great Wang dynasty. Corpse sect disciples hiding throughout the kingdom panicked and fled into the sky. But the moment they took flight, Wang Lin's cold snort echoed. His nirvana scryer divine sense crushed them instantly. Their bodies burst apart, their souls collapsed, and their spiritual energy returned to planet Suzaku to nourish its land. The sudden deaths threw the citizens of the Great Wong dynasty into confusion. As no one understood what had happened and endless speculation spread throughout the kingdom. After exterminating the corpse sect disciples across the dynasty, Wang Lin's expression grew even gloomier. From the memories of the woman from planet Feng Luan, he had learned that almost every city contained corpse sect disciples gathering resentment to nourish resentful spirits. This operation was not limited to planet Suzaku. Every corpse sect branch throughout the region was collecting resentment. The woman from planet Feng Luan was the head elder. Normally, someone of her status would never have been assigned to planet Suzaku. But the corpse sect headquarters had specifically ordered that a corporeal young cultivator be stationed there. And the task had fallen to her. Wang Lin did not care about that. But he found it strange that she had received a secret order from the headquarters after arriving on planet Suzaku. No matter how deeply he searched her memories, he could not uncover its contents, indicating that the order had been implanted by someone with a cultivation level higher than his ability to examine. However, Wang Lin deduced several things from the remaining clues. With her status, she would never willingly become a mortal emperor's concubine. There had been no need for her to remain in the imperial palace to maintain control with her cultivation. She had only been on planet Suzaku for less than 100 years and had entered the imperial palace merely 10 years earlier. Her memories from the moment she arrived outside the palace had been completely erased, leaving her unable to remember why she entered. From her remaining memories, Wang Lin discovered that she had actually been hiding within the imperial palace during those 10 years while concealing her cultivation. He wondered what had happened 10 years earlier that forced her to flee into the most populated place in the empire and why she believed she would be safe there. After considering it briefly, he stopped dwelling on the mystery. Wang Lin then expanded his divine sense across all of planet Suzaku to search for the corpse sect. Although the corpse sect had once maintained branches throughout nearly every country, the woman's memories revealed that the organization had been reorganized, concentrating all its forces into a single headquarters. Ironically, this new headquarters was located in the country of Zhao, where the original Zhao corpse sect had once stood. After eliminating the scattered corpse sect members, Wang Lin headed directly for the Zhao headquarters. Arriving at the familiar swamp after hundreds of years, he observed that it contained far more restrictions than before. He ordered Ta Shan to open the entrance. Ta Shan stepped forward without hesitation, clenched his right fist, and punched the ground. The earth shook violently as the swamp was blasted into the air. Countless restriction formations appeared, but they were useless against Ta Shan. His single punch shattered every restriction, split the earth apart, and revealed a hidden passage beneath. Wang Lin entered the passage with Ta Shan following behind, while the big-headed boy curiously looked around and followed as well. Walking through the tunnel, Wang Lin felt nostalgic. Hundreds of years earlier, he had entered this place twice with extreme caution. But now he could move through it freely. As he advanced, Wang Lin spread his divine sense across the entire corpse sect headquarters. Sealing every exit, he had come to find the corpse sect leader. Whether in the past or present, he had never held any goodwill toward the corpse sect, especially after discovering that they had used the Wong family descendants to nourish resentful spirits. Although he had no personal attachment to descendants separated by more than 10 generations, they were still members of the Wong family, and their suffering had enraged him. Every corpse sect cultivator detected by Wang Lin's divine sense instantly collapsed and died. Numerous disciples panicked and attempted to escape through the passages, but none could break through the divine sense barrier. As Wang Lin continued forward, a powerful stream of sword energy suddenly shot toward him through the narrow tunnel. The attack came from an ascendant cultivator and carried tremendous force. Wang Lin calmly pointed a finger, using only a trace of origin energy. Ripples spread through space, instantly shattering the sword energy. The attacker groaned but charged even faster instead of retreating. Wang Lin saw that the attacker was a thin, mummy-like corpse covered in runes, emitting a foul odor, with lifeless eyes devoid of consciousness. He found the figure strangely familiar. When the mummy reached him, Wang Lin sighed and kicked it with his right foot. The corpse disintegrated from the feet upward until it turned completely into dust. Just before disappearing, the mummy's eyes briefly regained clarity and looked at Wang Lin in confusion before vanishing forever. Wang Lin recognized him as Yi Zizai, the corpse sect member who had accepted him into the sect long ago, and lamented that he had become someone else's corpse puppet. Continuing deeper into the headquarters, Wang Lin encountered many more ambushers, all of whom were corpse puppets that were instantly destroyed. When he finally approached the headquarters, Wang Lin looked through the walls with his divine sense and saw 8 enormous transfer arrays. Numerous corpse sect disciples stood within them as the formations activated in an attempt to escape. Wang Lin calmly declared that none of them would escape. His divine sense swept over the arrays, causing all 8 to collapse. 3 transfer arrays shattered first, throwing their occupants into spatial cracks, and the remaining 5 collapsed immediately afterward. Not a single corpse sect disciple escaped. The destruction demonstrated the overwhelming power of a true second-step cultivator. Wang Lin needed no direct battle or bloodshed to annihilate the sect. His divine sense alone was enough to destroy it completely. Even yin and yang cultivators could not accomplish such a feat, as only Nirvana Scryer cultivators truly stood within the second step. The corpse sect headquarters was shrouded in eerie silence, broken only by Wang Lin's footsteps. Calmly following his memories, he passed through the caves until he reached the deepest parts of the sect. At the former cultivation cave where he had practiced the underworld ascension method, he found only a sealed wall. Without stopping, he walked directly toward it. The wall cracked and collapsed before him as if pushed aside by an invisible force, continuing to crumble as he advanced. Such effortless destruction could only be achieved by someone who had entered the second step of cultivation and touched the laws. After briefly recalling his past cultivation there, Wang Lin continued deeper. He passed another wall filled with countless holes emitting weakened cold energy, which also collapsed before him. Eventually he reached a vast underground cavern where a coffin thousands of feet long floated in the center. A weak voice pleaded, "Save me." Upon sensing Wang Lin, the voice suddenly fell silent before returning in shock, recognizing him as the same cultivator who had visited twice before. The first time Wang Lin had only been at Foundation establishment and was too weak to help. Hundreds of years later, Wang Lin had returned near the soul transformation stage to collect blood, ignoring the giant's pleas despite being tempted with the offer of becoming his mount. Now, on Wang Lin's third visit, the giant was horrified because he could no longer perceive Wang Lin's cultivation, nor that of his 2 attendants. Sensing only terrifying pressure from all 3, Wang Lin calmly examined the heavily restricted coffin. With a casual finger tap, the countless restrictions and the enormous coffin shattered instantly, something that terrified the giant demon clan ancestor. White mist poured out, revealing a gigantic naked man with gray skin and no ancient god cracks. His body was tightly wrapped by a purple vine that constantly absorbed his life force while releasing cold white mist. A faint axe mark occasionally flashed between his eyebrows. The giant identified himself as Lei Ji and sincerely begged Wang Lin to save him, promising to become his mount without any hidden schemes. Wang Lin observed that the purple vine had rooted deeply into Lei Ji's body and would completely consume his life force within several hundred years. Wang Lin asked how many giant demon clan members had been captured by the corpse sect. Lei Ji explained that he was the only captive on planet Suzaku, but many giant demon clan members had been captured throughout the Alliance star system. The corpse sect sought their bodies because ordinary possession would destroy the giant demon bloodline. The purple vine was specifically cultivated to drain life force while preserving the bloodline, allowing perfect possession afterward. Understanding Lei Ji's honesty due to his overwhelming strength, Wang Lin reached toward him. The purple vine immediately began withdrawing its roots from Lei Ji's body. As the roots were pulled free, the vine contracted and released a powerful pressure. Wang Lin frowned as the plant emitted a piercing scream and transformed into a monstrous plant hundreds of feet tall. Its main flower opened into rows of sharp teeth dripping saliva, while countless vine-like appendages ended in smaller flowers filled with the same deadly teeth. Some vines remained attached to Lei Ji while the rest lunged toward Wang Lin. Lei Ji explained that the plant housed the divine sense of a corpse sect vice hall master, who had prepared Lei Ji's body as his future vessel. Once Lei Ji's life force was exhausted after several hundred years, the vice hall master would possess his body while retaining the giant demon bloodline. Hearing this, Wang Lin realized the corpse sect's true objective. Since ancient god bodies were extremely rare, They had targeted the giant demon clan as the next best vessels. Combined with the cultivator's spells and the giant demon bloodline, such bodies would create opponents so powerful that even Wang Lin would not be confident of victory without merging with his original ancient god body. He realized this secret revealed part of the Corpse Sect's hidden plans and believed that the approaching All-Heaven army would eventually expose all of the sect's mysteries. The demonic plant roared and attacked Wang Lin with countless vines. Wang Lin smiled, summoned the celestial sealing stamp, and released hundreds of thousands of golden sealing runes that surrounded the plant before the stamp crashed down upon it. At the same time, he gathered heavenly thunder into a purple lightning sphere and hurled it at the plant. The combined attack shook the entire cavern, cracking the walls and causing earth and stone to collapse. The plant suffered heavy damage as lightning ravaged its body and mucus splattered everywhere. Lei Ji was thrown free and crashed onto the ground. A gloomy voice then emerged from the plant, declaring, "Who made me awaken from my sleep? You have to pay the price with your life." When the voice echoed, the aura of a Nirvana Scryer cultivator spread out as a storm that swept away the golden runes covering the broken plant. An illusory black-robed figure shrouded in dark fog appeared above it. Wang Lin remained calm and declared that the figure was only a Nirvana Scryer origin soul before releasing the Wither Dao pair. The beast bone emitted a ghostly light and a powerful evil aura that covered the plant with gray light. The black-robed man ignored the plant and flew away as it collapsed beneath him. Purple gas rose from the shattered plant and entered his body, making his form become more solid. Wang Lin immediately pursued him, summoning a thunderstorm with countless bolts of lightning. The black-robed man created a black screen to block the attack, causing a violent explosion that shook the cave and triggered its collapse. Injured, he retreated and revealed himself as Lu Qingyun, Vice Hall Master of the Resentment Hall of the Corpse Sect. Having only recently awakened, he explained that he had no body and apologized for his earlier words, offering the giant demon clan body to Wang Lin as a gift while continuing to retreat. Wang Lin silently chased him, realizing Lu Qingyun was merely a weakened early-stage Nirvana Scryer origin soul and concluding that capturing him would allow Ta Shan's body to advance to the Nirvana Scryer stage. Lu Qingyun secretly lamented that he had hidden on the abandoned planet for thousands of years to quietly possess the giant demon body and later compete for the position of Hall Master. But now believed the other Vice Hall Masters had discovered him and hired powerful experts to eliminate him. He carefully observed Wang Lin's group and found them unfamiliar, although he recognized Wang Lin and the big-headed boy as Nirvana Scryer cultivators. He sensed celestial spiritual energy instead of a domain from the big-headed boy and realized he was a celestial, making him even more alarmed. When Wang Lin used spatial bending to instantly disappear, Lu Qingyun cried out in shock, knowing that cultivators who mastered spatial bending were nearly invincible among those of the same level. He dispersed his origin soul into countless light specks to escape, but Wang Lin stepped out of the void, forced the scattered soul back together with a powerful strike, and blocked his retreat. The big-headed boy cut off his escape route while Ta Shan closed in, leaving Lu Qingyun with no hope of fleeing. Lu Qingyun pleaded for his life and offered the origin soul of another Nirvana Scryer cultivator as payment. Wang Lin asked to see it, gave him 3 breaths to decide, and Lu Qingyun reluctantly produced a mirror containing the empty origin soul of his former mortal enemy, whose body he had destroyed long ago. Wang Lin examined it, confirmed it was an authentic Nirvana Scryer origin soul, but stated that it was not enough to buy Lu Qingyun's life. After hesitating, Lu Qingyun revealed what he claimed was a far greater treasure. He summoned the 12th-ranked Fire Spirit Corpse from the Corpse Sect's corpse rankings, explaining that anyone who possessed it would become immune to all fire spells and gain control over the fire of the world. He threw the corpse toward Wang Lin, but as it approached, it suddenly opened its eyes. Lu Qingyun's expression turned savage as he ordered it to explode. The Fire Spirit Corpse detonated with overwhelming flames that were completely confined within the area, maximizing their destructive power. The explosion shattered the sky, forced Ta Shan to retreat, and even made the big-headed boy retreat in fear, realizing he could not have survived such an explosion himself. Lu Qingyun laughed madly and fled toward the sky, revealing that his surrender and gifts had all been part of a deliberate plan to create an opportunity to escape. Although sacrificing the Fire Spirit Corpse was painful, he believed killing a cultivator capable of spatial bending was worth the price. He planned to return to the corpse sect, obtain another body, and later take revenge on the other Vice Hall Masters. However, Wang Lin's cold voice suddenly echoed behind him, declaring that he could not escape. Lu Qingyun's body trembled, his face filled with disbelief, and he stopped in midair.